For the first time in over 50 years, humans are returning to the moon. But this time, it's not just a visit. NASA isn't going back to plant a flag. We're going to build a home. This is the Artemis program, and it could change the future of humanity forever. In this video, we'll explore why Artemis matters, what NASA is planning, and how the moon could be our stepping stone to the stars. This isn't science fiction. It's already underway. It's easy to forget that humans once walked on the moon. Between 1969 and 1972, 12 astronauts set foot on the lunar surface. They planted flags, collected rocks, and left their footprints in the dust. And then, just like that, it stopped. The Cold War, shifting political priorities and budget cuts brought the Apollo era to a close. For decades, human spaceflight was confined to low Earth orbit. The International Space Station became our outpost in space, but we stopped dreaming bigger. We sent robotic explorers into the solar system, built telescopes that could see the edge of the universe, but crewed deep space missions remained a dream on hold. That dream is returning. Now, after decades of orbiting close to home, the moon is back in focus. But this time, it's not about beating someone there or proving we can. It's about staying, learning, building, preparing. We're not just reaching for the moon again. We're building a bridge to the stars. Artemis is NASA's bold plan to return humans to the moon and establish a sustainable presence. Named after the twin sister of Apollo in Greek mythology, Artemis is a new era in space exploration that reflects diversity, ambition, and long-term vision. It begins with a series of missions. Artemis I was an uncrewed test flight of the powerful Space Launch System rocket and the Orion spacecraft. It orbited the moon and returned to Earth safely, paving the way for future crewed flights. Artemis II, scheduled for launch soon, will be the first crewed mission to orbit the moon since the Apollo program. 4 astronauts will travel around the moon, testing systems and preparing for future landings. This mission will mark the first time humans have ventured beyond low Earth orbit in over half a century. And Artemis III. That's the big one. The first human landing on the moon since 1972. This mission will include the first woman and the first person of color to set foot on the lunar surface. It will also target the moon's south pole, a region never before explored by humans, rich in water ice and scientific potential. Beyond that, Artemis IV and V aim to build the Gateway, a lunar orbiting space station, and establish permanent infrastructure for future missions. These later stages involve developing cargo missions, constructing lunar habitats, and deploying scientific instruments to better understand the moon's geology. This isn't just a return. It's a foundation for something far greater, a proving ground for everything we need to push onward to Mars and beyond. Imagine a place where humans live and work on the moon, not for days, but for months. That's the vision. Artemis Base Camp is more than an idea. It's a concrete plan in development. The concept includes habitats that can house astronauts for extended periods, mobile platforms to explore the lunar surface, and robust power systems to support long-term survival. Living on the moon means rethinking how we use resources. Unlike Apollo, where everything was brought from Earth, Artemis aims to use the moon's own materials. Water ice trapped in permanently shadowed craters can be mined and turned into drinking water, breathable oxygen, and even rocket fuel. Additive manufacturing, better known as 3D printing, may one day allow us to build structures using lunar regolith. Solar panels could be deployed to harness the sun's energy and store power for the lunar night, which can last up to 2 weeks. Every piece of this puzzle is being designed with sustainability in mind. If we can learn to survive on the moon using local resources, we can take those same lessons to Mars. The moon becomes our sandbox for the stars. There's a reason the Artemis program is seen as a bridge to Mars. The environments may be different, but the challenges are surprisingly similar. Both the Moon and Mars have reduced gravity, lack protective atmospheres, and present harsh radiation environments. Learning to cope with these challenges close to home gives us a chance to test life support systems, habitats, and mission protocols before taking the leap to the Red Planet. Establishing a moon base will also help us master the logistics of deep space travel. We'll need to deal with delayed communications, autonomous decision-making, and psychological stress from long-duration missions. These are critical steps on the path to a sustainable human presence in the solar system. And then there's the inspiration factor. Just like Apollo sparked a generation of scientists, engineers, and dreamers, Artemis can do the same. It reminds us that exploration isn't over. It's just beginning. Internationally, the Artemis Accords lay out principles for peaceful cooperation and shared exploration. Countries like Canada, Japan, and members of the European Space Agency are contributing key technologies, including robotic systems and modules for the Lunar Gateway. What we're seeing is the evolution of spaceflight into a global endeavor, one that reflects humanity's collective hopes and capabilities, rather than any one nation's ambition. NASA isn't doing this alone. A key feature of the Artemis program is its collaboration with private industry and international partners. Companies like SpaceX, Blue Origin, and Lockheed Martin are building the systems that will land astronauts, transport cargo, and support future missions. SpaceX's Starship human landing system is set to be the first private spacecraft to deliver astronauts to the lunar surface. It represents a shift in how space exploration is conducted, no longer limited to government agencies, but a joint effort of public and private innovation. But NASA isn't the only player with eyes on the moon. China has emerged as a major force in space exploration, and its ambitions are growing rapidly. The Chang'e lunar program has already seen success, with robotic landings, sample returns, and plans for future crewed missions. China aims to establish a permanent research station at the moon's south pole, a location rich in water ice and strategic potential, much like NASA's own target. They're also collaborating with Russia on a joint lunar base concept. While the timeline and logistics are still developing, the signal is clear. China is not just catching up, it's aiming to lead. This has raised questions. Are we entering a new space race, or could we be seeing a future of competitive collaboration? One where nations race for prestige and leadership, but also cooperate when mutual interest aligns. In either scenario, the moon is once again a geopolitical frontier, but this time, it could serve as a testing ground for diplomacy as much as exploration. What happens if we succeed? If Artemis delivers on its promises and we build a sustainable presence on the moon, what comes next? This effort isn't just about exploration, it's about survival. Learning to live on other worlds teaches us how to better care for our own. It challenges us to innovate, adapt, and think long-term. It inspires global cooperation, and it reminds us of something easy to forget. We are part of something much larger. In the vast silence of space, we find unity. On the barren plains of the moon, we find purpose. The Artemis program could define not just the next chapter of space exploration, but of humanity itself. We're living at the edge of a new era in space exploration. The decisions made today will shape our future for generations. So what do you think? Are we ready to become a multi-planetary species? Let me know in the comments. If you enjoyed this journey through the Artemis program, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video with a fellow space enthusiast. Thanks for watching. The moon is just the beginning.